Breakup Day, 14th February, Valentine's Day 2004. I didn't go to college the next day, wanting to give an impression that I was depressed. I expected a sympathy call from Bhavna. It was like hoping for rain in Jaisalmer. I started plotting so that I could emotionally blackmail her. Yes, I was a bit sad, but was trying to protect my fraud fracture as completely crushed. Inside the hostel room, Gaurav was about to go to college. Gaurav, I'm not well, yeah. What happened? You should consult a doctor, he said, concerned. Nothing much, just viral fever with severe body pain. I added. Your temperature is fine. It seems like something else. Gaurav felt my neck and wrist to check. Internal fever, maybe? Consult a doctor. He suggested again. No, no, I'll be fine soon. Then what do you want from me? My cock? He asked furiously. Listen, brother, if Bhavna asks for me, tell her that I'm not well and I'm not talking to anyone in the hostel. I called him brother intentionally. Why? What happened? And what if she does not ask? Then he questioned. I requested him, putting on a pitiful look. Please understand, yaar. I'll feel nice if a caring person calls me. If Bhavna doesn't ask, then you still have to tell her this. Gaurav said. I pretended to cough again. You can tell Beena as well, please. Buddy, please rest. The message will reach its destination. Gaurav assured me. Love you, yaar. I blinked with a cunning smile. Love my ass sale tharki. Gaurav retailed and left. I had purposely not asked Deependra to talk to Bhavna as he would have easily guessed that something had happened between us. By using all unfair means, dramas, emotions, and blackmailing, I still didn't receive any call from Bhavna. My Valentine hadn't called me on Valentine's Day. Bhavna had a badminton match on 15th February. I didn't shave that day. In order to look like Devdas, I reached late. Bhavna's badminton match had already started, and after struggling, she eventually lost the match. Bhavna, Beena, Gaurav, and Deependra were standing outside the court and were discussing the reason for their loss. I was sitting at a distance and was busy pretending to be unwell. I was coughing like a dog. I had my own reasons for defeat. Bhavna came to me after 5 minutes. Hi Bhavna, sorry about the result of the match, I said, looking away from her. It was now difficult for me to look at her beautiful eyes. Yes, you should be. I didn't receive my friend's good wishes before the match. Sorry for being late. Actually, I wasn't well, I said and coughed again. Don't lie. Gaurav already told me that you are not talking to anyone in the hostel. Love you, Gaurav, for hitting the mark. I mentally thanked Gaurav. She continued, Ajay, nothing has happened between us. I remained silent. Nothing has changed, Ajay. You are still a good friend. For the first time, I hated the word friend. From now, you are not going to bunk classes and no more looking sad. I want my friend back the way he was before. She instructed me like a teacher and I nodded like a obedient student. I loved that she cared for me and at the same time I felt guilty for pretending. I decided not to do anything like that. If she loved me, she would accept me someday. A few more days passed. The series of formal hellos and byes continued. I left everything to fate. No more emotional blackmail, no cuffing, no more leaving my face unshaven, nothing. I was lost in the recollection of the incredible pioneer computer class days and even cursed my luck sometimes. 21st February 8:30 p.m. My silver phone vibrated and the screen flashed Bhavna calling. Hello Ajay, hope you are not busy. Can we talk? Anything for you anytime, ma'am, I flirted. Listen carefully, Ajay. Please don't interrupt. Allow me to finish, she said rather seriously. If today anyone asks me who my best friend is, it's you, she signed. Even if anyone asks me who I like the most, even then it's still you. I jumped in excitement and said, "What about? Wait, Ajay. Don't poke your nose," she ordered. Yes, if anyone asks me whom I love, I will say yes, I love Ajay. Or yes, I love you. But, she signed. This but was killing me. I remained silent. But I don't understand this love. What I've understood is that you are more than my best buddy. Once we finish our engineering and settle into our respective lives, we will definitely talk to our parents and marry. But till then, we will be best friends, nothing more than that. I'm hanging up. We will talk about this later. Bhavna was not kind of a girl to first fall in love, experience the relationship, and then decide whether or not to marry. Love and marriage were the same thing for her. Wait, I pleaded. Not now. Today is my day, she said and disconnected the call. That day, Jaisalmer became Cherrapunji, and there was even cloud burst. I was on cloud nine. I started dancing in my room. A customary drumbeat rolled internally, and my mind started playing melodious music. This went on for the next 15 minutes, and I settled down on my bed, sweating badly. I could see the newspaper in which the love calendar was printed. I read it and began laughing uncontrollably. And it was saying 21st February, breakup day. Welcome to the crazy world of love. Another name had been added to my list of good friends, and that's Beena. People would see the three of us hanging out in the canteen, in the classroom, in labs, almost everywhere. We were an awesome threesome. Beena always left college before Bhavna did. Like Bhavna, Beena was staying with her family as well. Beena was understanding enough to give Bhavna and me some space. Because of this, Bhavna and I had enough time together. Thanks for your generosity, Beena. Yes, those were lovely days, and if you are in love, the nights are happier than days. The magical sound of violin seemed to be playing all around you. I'd also been upgraded from my cycle to a scooty. My Dreamliner was fighting a natural oxidation process of rusting. However, Bhavna's scooty now had one more passenger. It became our chariot to explore the picturesque beauty outside our campus. We had overcome the monotonous habit of saying hi and bye after 2 years. Now we were into exchanging some more romantic declarations such as love you and miss you. The first year examination results were out. My girl stood third, Akanksha second, and Beena eighth. I also secured a rank, but it really doesn't seem worthy of mention. I was grateful that I had proposed to Bhavna before the exam results. She might have never agreed to be in a relationship after such a disaster. The second year had also passed, but I managed to keep my performance consistent. Bhavna had somehow managed the rank third in class, which was a difficult task for a girl who spent most of the time in the canteen rather than in the labs. She used to offer her support and lend her notes not to just me but also to my friends. By this time, my friends had become dependent on these notes and treated Bhavna like a guardian angel. Bhavna used to share her concern and discuss our future and careers, but I never paid heed to her. I found myself lost in her beauty, which took my breath away. I wanted to touch and feel her, but every time I attempted to steal a touch, she playfully stopped me with a blushing smile and said, "Control, Pandeji, we are just more than friends." Listening to her control Pandeji, I always felt more uncontrollable. Sometimes I felt she was too idealistic, but that was the consequence of loving a saint. Almost all my hostel friends had soulmates now. Gaurav was in a relationship with Niharika, Deependra started going around with Soumya, and Arvind was with Kavita. Friends, you will not believe this, but all of them are now happily married couples. Anyway, back to the story. In February, during the fifth semester of our third year, Bhavna came to college with a pink nose. Whenever she cried, her nose turned pink. She looked pretty even while crying. I guessed easily that she had had a bad night. Twice she broke down into little sobs during the lecture. She avoided making eye contact with me to hide her tears. She made some excuses and went to the washroom. It really killed me to see her sobbing like that. I wanted to bunk the last lab, but Beena wanted to attend it, so I left her to enjoy the circuits and signals. Bhavna and I went into the college canteen. The canteen was the favorite hangout of all the lovers. It was the only place where lovers could spend many hours after ordering just a cup of tea worth 3 rupees. Worth 3 rupees. I did not know whether the uncle running the canteen was making money or not, but it was always houseful during our college days. What happened, Bhavna? I asked in a concerned tone. I can't bear to see you like this. How much do you love me, Ajay? You always notice me, she said in a whisper like soft voice. Thanks for understanding, my love. Now, may I know why my darling is so sad? We had gone from being Ajay and Bhavna to sweetheart and darling. She didn't say anything. Her throat had choked up and her nose had turned red now. She was looking pretty, but it was not the time to be distracted by her alluring looks. So I said, concerned, feel free, dear. I'm up for anything. She burst into tears and sobbed, Ajay, I love you. I didn't want to lose you. Goosebumps covered my body. I asked, baffled, so sweet, my darling, but please don't cry. As I consoled her, I realized a bizarre fact of life. The more you request a girl not to cry, the more she will cry. My family is totally against love marriages and those kind of things, she said and sobbed again. Tell me in detail. Papa got to know about one of my close relatives' affair and he proactively warned Pujadi and me that he would not tolerate any such thing in our family. The situation at home is extremely awful. She began wailing again. Hold on, Bhavna. In between of this, where is the question of leaving me? Well, she said and started sobbing. Seeing things at home, I'm thinking, go on, Bhavna, spit everything out. I can understand what is going on inside you, I said anxiously. Nothing could be more grievous and unfortunate for a parent than their child going against them, she said with a great difficulty. I desperately wanted to hug her, console her, but hugging in IRT was taboo. I said, holding her hand, no need to say anything, Bhavna. I understand. You are thinking of sacrificing your love and relationship for your family. Sorry, Ajay. Please try to understand me, she said. What is here to understand? I don't know. I was puzzled. Sometimes her saintly behavior made me faint. So, this is a breakup meeting between us? I questioned. She nodded with her eyes full of tears. So, that was all your love for me? My comment touched her heart. She replied, I love you, Ajay. The tears that have been falling from my eyes are proof of that, she said gloomily. Ajay, if we cannot sacrifice anything for our family, then we cannot love anyone. I know I am biased for her, but her germs of being a good daughter always stop her from being a good girlfriend. For a few seconds, I felt numb. So far, I had only known how serious she was about me, so I could understand what she was feeling. But this decision of hers had earned her my immense respect. I decided I would never leave a girl who was so nice and ready to sacrifice her love for her family. I softly held her hand and pulled up her chin. Bhavna, you are an excellent daughter. Every family should have a daughter like you. I was about to finish, but she cut me short without listening to me. Ajay, I don't have a brother. Our parents have always treated us like their sons. I can't ever leave them. Sorry, Ajay, but leave me. How can I leave you when you are in trouble? She frowned, and I said, I would have left you if you were involved with someone, but I can't leave you during this tough time. I felt like a romantic hero. These Hindi movies have spoiled many Romeos. Now, answer me. If your parents can be convinced and they approve of our match, then would you mind marrying me? If they agree, then it's gonna be the best day of my life, she said blissfully. So leave everything to me. I'll convince your father. Ajay, I know you are a persuasive person, but you don't know my family conditions. But you know me. And my mother? She said, like she was a child negotiating for a toy. Yes, I'll convince your mother too, I smiled. But how, Ajay? How? Suddenly, Bina came into the canteen. She had also noticed that Bhavna had been tense. She had finished her lab work and had come to console her. Hi Bina, Bhavna is asking me how I will convince her parents about us. I grinned. As a third person arrived, the air changed. I realized that day that sometimes even couples shouldn't be left alone. As Bhavna already said, I am the most persuasive person in the whole world, but she still wants me to explain how I will convince her parents. I relate to Bina. Bhavna remained silent, and to lift her mood, I said, let's play a game. Bina, just pretend that you are Bhavna's father and I'm Ajay, Bhavna's husband to be, coming to convince you to let me marry Bhavna. Bina just settled down on the seat opposite to me, and Bhavna sat beside me. Bina and I acted out the scene. I requested Bina, Uncle, I'm here to marry your daughter. I love her a lot. Nowadays, I know children don't listen to their parents, Bina said. I watched her, aghast, hardly knowing what to say. Her statement seemed to have pained Bhavna even more. Uncle, I'm feeling hungry, I said to Bina. Oh Bhavna, mehman aaya hai. A guest has come home. Please bring something to eat, Bina said. I made Bhavna bring us some cutlets. As Bhavna went to get them, I conspired with Bina. Bina, you have to get convinced easily. I'm not here to marry your daughter, okay? Okay, Ajay, understood. Bina whispered. When Bhavna returned, we started up again. Uncle, please give me your daughter's hand since I have all the qualities to ensure a good marriage. Apart from having a fair complexion, I already have a job and am moreover not going to ask you for a dowry. My proposal is totally free. Oh, free? Then why just her hand? Take all of her, Bina said. Bhavna laughed. She looked amazing, her nose pink and her smile cute and dimpled. That same day, I spent some time talking to myself in the boys' hostel. Mr. Romeo Pandey, it took 10 months to win Bhavna over. Convincing her parents would at least require a decade. And what about your parents who chant God's sermons all the time? For them, caste and religion are just like oxygen and blood. You will need centuries to convince them about an intercaste marriage. You're in for a lot of trouble, Mr. Pandey. Welcome to the crazy world of love. My struggles for placements. Almost all my friends had joined Professional Tutorial, a premier coaching institute for MBA preparations. Ironically, no one was interested in doing an MBA. They wanted to keep MBA as an alternate option in case they failed to get a job through campus placements. As a blind follower, I joined the rat race. With that, I had broken my old promise that I, Ajay Kumar Pandey, son of Sri Sri S.N. Pandey, would not waste my family's wealth in coaching institutes. That was not happening for the first time. I had broken many promises in the past, but lived up to the one. You know what I mean. So let's focus on the forthcoming struggle. Our third year of college was about to end. Bhavna's sister had happily married her boyfriend. Their family had agreed and blessed them. Her would be Jiju had really become her Jiju now. Being a love marriage, it kick started our hopes. These positive thoughts about our marriage strengthened the bond between us. Bhavna also had a cell phone by then, but we talked little over the phone. We were not the kind of couple who woke up with Janu baby Shona and die moaning in pain and pleasure in the night. Bhavna used to bring two sets of everything: photocopied notes, almonds, assignments, and library books. We were a well known We were a well known couple in the college now, and an inspiration to many. Everything was going smoothly. We were enjoying the quality time we spent together in college. But this changed when this notice appeared on the college notice board. First company for final year placements, Satyam Computer Services Limited, Nodal Center at UCER Allahabad. First screening will be carried out via written examination followed by group discussion and HR interview. This notice sucked away all our happiness. The whole college environment changed completely. Everything geared up for the placements. Being hostelers, we were more resourceful. Everyone tried some kind of jugaad or trick. We got sample papers from freshers.com and rest from the previous examination centers. We were all under the delusion that the written exam could be managed. We got the placement center on the day. Thousands of aspiring engineers were also present, looking like a flock of migrant Siberian birds. My stress increased when half a dozen buses arrived from different colleges. On seeing them, my hopes about the written examination were shattered, and soon pressure reached its peak. I said to Bhavna and Beena, मेरी तो फट रही है. I'm scared. I hate the slang you use, but फट तो मेरी भी रही है. Bhavna said, tense. I'm sure I'm not going to clear it, Beena added. We stared at the flock of the students who looked like Siberian birds for 5 minutes. Then I began to think about what jugaad or trick could be done. An idea flashed in my cunning mind. Seagulls. Now we have to follow through the operation joint effort. They frowned, but I continued. The written test consists of 15 questions, and the duration is 30 minutes. So for every question, we have 2 minutes. All the question can be managed if there is no time restriction. Both of them nodded like a little kids. I said, pointing to Bhavna, you start answering questions from the top and do the most you can do. And then pointing at Beena, you have to start from the bottom, meaning the 15th question first, then the 14th, and follow the same sequence. Remember, you have 5 minutes for each question. In that case, do we just have to solve 6 questions? Beena asked, puzzled. No, Beena, We will work for 20 minutes, so 4 to 5 questions only. And what about the rest? Bina asked. What will you do? I will start from the middle. We have to finish this in 20 minutes and we will exchange the answers using signs in the remaining 10 minutes. I explained to them using my fingers as if I was teaching two dumb students. Our mission was accomplished. Along with me, Bhavna, Beena, Deependra, and Arvind cleared the written examination and we entered the next grueling session. The results were announced after 2 hours. Bhavna, Beena, and I had cleared the group discussion round. Now, the most difficult task for us was waiting. The 5-page long pre interview form was handed to us. It carried some basic information related to academics and hobbies. Bhavna and Beena were tense. I had taken a mock interview of each of them and had asked them many predictable questions. I made suggestions and corrected them as if I had already given 100 interviews. The interviews went until 9 p.m. All of us were exhausted. The final results would take a few hours. My head was aching. I requested Bhavna to come outside with me for some fresh air. Beena remained inside and would call us in case of the results were announced. We left the building and settled in a corner of college gardens. Only a few students were left. Those who could not make it to the following rounds had already left. The college looked far better than it had in the morning. Thank God the Siberian birds returned to Siberia, I joked. I laid down in the garden while Bhavna sat next to me. What happened, Ajay? Feeling tired? Bhavna asked, concerned. My head and legs are aching, I said, pressing my legs. I have a headache too, but what is wrong with your legs? I have noticed that the bones in your legs seem to have a serious problem. Yes, dear. If I stand for 2 hours, they start aching. You should consult a doctor, she said, massaging my head. To avoid her excessive concern for my bones, I said, Ma'am, just take a look around. It's such a romantic night. I'm lying in a garden and you are next to me at 9:30 p.m. Let's just feel it. Yes, you are right, she smiled. Bhavna, just imagine. What if we get into the same company in the same city? Wow, it would just be a dream come true. Now her imagination awoke. Software companies have 2 days off in a week. We will enjoy every weekend and will have crazy parties. And when both of us are earning, then our parents will agree easily. We will marry soon and will stay together forever. Bhavna was in her own dream world. And I will send Ayushman and Pankhudi to you for mimicry shows. Who are Ayushman and Pankhudi? I asked, puzzled. Our kids, she blushed. It was unbelievable for me. It was not the age to discuss babies, but lovers do crazy things. What? You finalized this all by yourself? You didn't even feel the need to discuss this with me? Discuss this with me? And what if two boys or two girls are born? I fired a string of questions at her. Then you will have a privilege of naming the second child, she said, pinching my cheeks. Suddenly, our series of romantic dreams were interrupted by a worried Beena. Bhavna and Ajay, get inside. The results are out, Beena said. The three of us assembled in the hall. I sat in the middle. Bhavna was to the one side of me, Beena to the other side. A South Indian HR professional stood in front of us and began giving us unwanted gyan. Dear engineers, those whose names are not on the list are lucky ones, he said, waving a sheet of paper. They should not feel bad because they will get an opportunity to enter a better company than Satyam. He said as if he was himself ashamed of being Satyam's employee. He continued giving us inspirational gyan, but no one paid any heed to them. My heart started beating faster. I could hear every single heartbeat loud and clear, even through the defeating noise. I was worried. If he called my name, I would get a heart attack from being so happy. I started taking the name of every god. I was completely secular. I prayed to Allah, Jesus, Guru Nanak, and every other god I remembered. I even prayed to a millions of Hindu gods, but it's possible that I said some devil's name in my hurry. Finally, after receiving unwanted gyan for 20 minutes, the HR professional started calling out names. I looked at Bhavna. She had closed her eyes and was busy taking the names of the same gods. Then I realized that everyone around me was praying. I thought, God's bandwidth will get blocked today. I whispered to God, please shift your network from the government to some private operator this time. Whenever a name was announced, it was followed by applause and cheers. Bhavna was still praying. She clutched my hand so tightly, it was as if she was in a hospital's labor room. It was the first time that Bhavna had held me like that. It was so romantic, but the fear was more powerful than the romance. It made me feel so emotional that I prayed again. God, you never listen to me, but today at least listen to her. Then my beloved's name was announced. Bhavna Pradhan. She let go of my hand and joined the troop of selected students. After a few more names, another name was announced. Beena Mishra. She also left. I started cursing the same gods whom I had been begging a few minutes ago. Why me every time, God? Why me? You should have at least considered Bhavna's request. I remained seated and tears started rolling down my cheeks. You should not be sad, Ajay. Your sad face will spoil her moment of victory. I consoled myself. I collected myself since my darling had got her first job. Everyone went outside after 15 minutes. The air was filled with cheerful cries of I did it and thank God and love you. Everyone was overwhelmed by their success. Bhavna came to me, her nose pink and her eyes wet. As I looked deep into her eyes, both of us began to cry. It was a rare moment. A girl was in tears after getting her first job, that too in a multinational software company. She was behaving as if she had lost everything. I could feel the intensity of the love and togetherness between us. Congratulations, dear, I said with a fake smile. Don't mention this crap and don't hide your emotions, she said firmly. Don't worry, yaar. Didn't you listen to the HR fellows, Gyan? The people not selected are lucky. We will get placed in better companies with healthy packages. And then you will feel jealous. She started right into my eyes. I could see her eyes, not filled with water, but the pain was reflected in them. She said, I can never be jealous of you, Ajay. The economy was booming in those days. Many software companies came to our campus. I was interviewed by about 7 companies like TCS, Wipro, Infosys, HCL, L&T Infotech. They were all giants, but my luck never boomed. Fate cursed me every time. Bhavna always wished me luck before every placement test, but God didn't have time for me. All my friends were placed, and my confidence was shattered. I felt completely broken. I didn't tell anyone at home about the placements, but since Deependra and Arvind had been selected to join Infosys, everyone had already heard the news. The common admission test Results were out, but my bad luck continued. The cat didn't change my luck. I went home during the holy break. I lay on the bed, cursing myself. I remembered all the bad things in the past and blamed myself for all these unwelcomed struggles. Yes, I am responsible for these failures. Yes, I am a bad person and I deserve this. My father came into my room as I was busy demeaning myself. I pretended I was sleeping. He lay down next to me. Sonu, he probed. Huh, Papa? So, how are the college placements? He asked, touching my hair. Nothing, Papa. Only Infosys turned up, I said, not mentioning all the other companies. Oh, I was reading the newspaper. Infosys will be hiring 20,000 people this year. I didn't respond. I was feeling dull. But my father was more than excited. Not to worry, TCS is planning to hire 15,000 and Wipro 12,000 and Satyam too is going to hire more than 15,000. I felt numb and cursed myself repeatedly. These companies are hiring so many people and still you couldn't get into even one, moron. Not to worry, still 3 months to go. More companies will come to your campus, beta. My father said. Yes, I'm hopeful, I said. Not to worry, beta, don't feel low. Only one company has come for placements so far. He signed. It may be because Allahabad is far away from Bangalore and Pune. I remained silent, feeling choked up. I was about to cry but somehow controlled myself. My father continued. MBA fees are increasing day by day. What about your CAT results? If you get placed, you will still do an MBA. I lost all control and started weeping like a baby. My father became teary. My father hugged me and said, Don't worry, my son, don't worry about the MBA fees, beta. I will manage the money if you want to do an MBA. I'll get some money from my provident fund. Please go ahead, but don't cry like this. I cursed myself. You are a bad son. I confessed while sobbing, Papa, all the companies that you just mentioned have already been to our campus, but your son could not even get into one. Don't worry, beta, do an MBA. We will manage everything, he said. He kept hugging me and patting my back, but I didn't have courage to say that I had spoiled cat as well. In April 2007, Bhavna wanted to go to the Mankameshwar temple in Allahabad. She had come to know that the presiding deity, Shankar Bhagwan or Lord Shiva, was powerful and that his bandwidth was free for unfortunate people like me. I accompanied her to the temple. She prayed silently, but I could easily sense what she was asking for. I always understood her prayers. Perhaps those were the only signals that I learned to pick up during the 4-year electronic engineering journey. I only prayed for God to listen to her. After winding up our begging session, we went to Saraswati Ghat on the banks of Yamuna. You could see a panoramic view of hanging Yamuna bridge that was famous attraction for tourists. If I could delete all the unwanted people from there, then it would become just a bay of heaven. When will the MAT results be out? She inquired. MAT was the another MBA entrance exam. Next week. It is my last hope, I signed. Then I gave her a letter. I wrote this, just read, dear. I don't have courage to say anything, I said with a downcast face. Bhavna, I've always struggled in life. I never get anything easily. I struggled for 2 years to get into an IIT but finally landed up at IRT. I appeared for almost all the companies that came to college, but you know the results. I even prepared hard for the MBA entrance, but that also seems like it might not turn out well for me. I always try my best, but luck never takes my side. My confidence is crushed, and I have little courage to fight. I am a big time loser, and if you stay with me, you will also become a loser one day. If you feel that my fortune has started affecting you, stop talking to me. Stop taking my calls for 2 days, and after that, I'll stop calling you. I love you, and I can't see my beloved struggling along with me. Love, Ajay. I thought she would explode at me after reading it, but she said calmly, Ajay, I am keeping this letter in my bag and will show it to our kids someday. Whenever my emotions overpower me, I remain silent. Do you think all the idiots who were placed are better than you? Their luck favored them. It's nothing like you can't do it. Let time pass and you will realize the same. Ajay, you are not an unfortunate man at all. Look, even after so many rejections, you haven't surrendered. You are still fighting. A lover's heart tried to find some reasons to cheer me up despite her pain. I remained silent. She went on, Ajay, you want me to leave you for my happiness? Can anyone love me more than this? She asked. How can I leave you in trouble? She smiled. Remember, Ajay, when I was going through a bad time, was crying, and had made a decision to leave you? What did you say? How can I leave you when you are in trouble? And today you are telling me to leave you? She paused. Ajay, even if I die tomorrow and this is my last chance, I will say you are the best person in my life, she said with her eyes full of tears. In the hostel that night, while I lay on my bed, busy thinking about the future and Bhavna, suddenly my cell phone vibrated and I got message from Bhavna. There are two kind of personalities. There are those who have everything and still complain as if they have nothing. And there are those who lose everything and act like life has given them everything. Sometimes both these personalities exist in the same soul. Kill the first one, I love the second. And yes, I love you and you are the best partner for me. It's easy to make friends, but difficult to keep them. Tears welled up in my eyes, and her loving, insightful, and concerned message forced me to think what I have lost. Why did I cry in front of my father? I've such a loving family, and to add to that, I've such a loving partner. I cried over a job. No, Ajay, you can't cry for this. You are lucky to have such a nice, supportive people around you. This thought gave me a lot of hope. I texted her back that night at 12:30 a.m. Love you, Bhavna, and I will never surrender.